There we go. Right, I hope everybody is well. So let's just get everything going for this afternoon. Right, just move this over ever so slightly. There we go. So just to go through two trades that are currently spoken about. One is Euro USD. I was expecting a nice push up here, but we're currently testing this area here. Now, dollar is I wouldn't say it's exhausted, but I do think it's due, some kind of a pullback. However, we are on a bit of a run just on the 5 minute time frame here. And then we've also got, which I posted, USD JPY, which is running. So that's not too bad. At the moment, yen pairs are dropping heavy this afternoon. So as you can see here, this was obviously euro. We actually come out of this morning at break even, or there or thereabouts where break even was. Let's just check USD JPY. Not sorry, euro USD. Not very happy with this one. Was expecting a nice push up, at least testing this daily. I think it was a daily low. Yeah, daily low, but it's really struggling to break here. So let's wait and see. Um, Other pairs which I'm looking at here. Euro AUD here. I like the look of this. Euro AUD. This would suit our kind of overall bias of having a bit of dollar weakness. But we'll wait and see what happens here. I like this is the daily low or previous daily low here. We've come up, we've blasted through it. So I just want to see what kind of happens here. I'm just going to keep an eye on euro as well, because that is annoying me. Um, Gold, what am I looking at here? I mean, everything here is telling me, to sell this. We obviously called this move this morning. This was obviously one that I was just practicing on earlier. I didn't post that. Um, Richard, natural gas dropping to the downside. Um, Make sure you drop a message into the chat, because it's obviously host only. So we've actually got some manufacturing data due to increase, slightly, and employment. We haven't got anything yet. I don't think any predicted data, have we? Not yet, which is irritating. And then we've got ISM2, which is due to increase. Remember, above 50 is an expanding economy. Below 50 is a deflating, disbanding. I don't know. E Economy. So let's wait and see. Yeah, how that one pans out. We've got Euro USD, which is not looking very pretty right now. 15-minute time frame, not too bad. Not too disappointed. Um, has the US session times changed as their clocks have changed? Let me have a look at this on the 8 hour. Yes, that they have. So for example, we can now do London, session here. So, this is obviously London low here. It stops to just below. I'm just looking for a push. Just need a bit of strength here. Let's look at, yeah, like I'd said, dollar overall here has been pushing up. I did mention to everyone to monitor this area here and then wait for a breakout. That's obviously what we've had and a continuation. Is there enough to, keep sending dollar the way it's kind of going at the moment? I'm not too sure, but yeah, we're gonna have to we'll wait and see what happens. And obviously, will this have an effect if my chart loads? Come on, don't crash on me. Don't crash on me here. Literally, the hub is right there. So there should be no excuses. Gold, there we go. Gold, I'm monitoring this area here. We do have the Asian high here. London high is obviously ever so slightly higher, and then obviously London, low is here. So I would kind of like, what would I like to see from gold here? If I was, I'd like to see a bit of a move like this, but then it come back up here. And then I'd like to buy up to this level here, potentially these highs here, these ones here. That would be my ideal kind of scenario. And then just monitor the gold price round here, but because we're in a bit of a messy zone here. Let's do some pair grading here. Um, let's do some pair grading. So if we were to look at this, yen has just ever so slightly, ever so slightly. What am I trying to say here? Increased in the last half an hour. So we got US dollar, the strongest pair, followed by AUD, followed by GBP, followed by JPY. I'm obviously basing this off of this. Yeah, as you can see, you can use any group of pairs that you want to. I just like yen because obviously yen is all on one side here. We're going to go through all of this in a bit more detail later on in the boot camp evening. So. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this. It will be recorded in a circle. So that's obviously what we're trying to base everything on, the moment here. So we want to ideally, if you are looking and, I always say as, you know, beginner struggling to pick trades, try and trade your top three against your bottom three if you can. All right. Just be a bit wary on the US dollar. You do have to be a bit wary on number one because, it's obviously hard for something to keep pumping one way. So we want to be looking at basically GBP, CAD, potentially pound should be pumping against that. Let's just have a look at this because I do quite like that. That's quite a big breakout here. That's quite a big breakout. We've obviously had our consolidation on a lower time frame here. All right, you could argue we've had our breakout. Now, I'm just going to explain, what this means. This is a bit of indecision. So, some people call it collecting orders. Some people obviously call it a bit of indecision here. All right. Then you've got your breakout. All right. Now, this can mean one of two things. All right. It can either be that, markets obviously driven price up to potentially drive it back down again. All right. So, what we would want to see here is price drive to the downside, then come back up and retest this area, then come down and drive it in the direction we want it to. Euro AUD, this is a very, very kind of, similar one where we've got the previous daily, low here. Price is driven up. Looks like we're going to take off now like an absolute rocket. Yeah, everyone can agree after this candle here, what is everyone looking to do? Everyone's looking to buy, all right, because that is one hell of a candle. All right. So what markets will try and do, and I'm not saying, this happens all the time, but what they will try and do is then drive price down. All right. But before they drive price down properly, they will come back one more time to collect even more orders and then obviously take it down to one of these areas. So this is obviously one that I am, monitoring here. I liked this build up of price here. All right, we've broken out. As you can see here, let's mark up London session to make it a bit cleaner. So if we mark up London here, however, if obviously dollar keeps on trending, then we're going to struggle a bit. So kind of in no man's land here, in regards to what's happening. If you can look at price action here, we broke through. All right, we drove through. We've come back up, retested around this area, driven back down. We've come back up again, rejected, drove through. Now, it's our job to work out what this means, all right? What does proper price want to do? Either way, it should drive back down here. It's whether we obviously hold and then can continue, or if we don't, and obviously we to just spark up in the opposite direction. Um, Anyone in UST JPY probably leave it open for another 5 minutes, but I don't like this price action here. I don't like it at all. I think dollar's starting to pump. Yeah, there we go. It's probably going to take us out of Euro USD, but let's wait and see. So what I'm waiting on gold here is, yeah, I want to probably wait another half an hour. I want to see something like, yeah, it's a bit tricky here because we've obviously got our solid consolidation. We've obviously had two or three spikes to the upside. I was actually targeting this area here. I would have rather placed a trade from here than where we are right now. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here is a push up into this area here, and then we can look to capitalize on gold. So I'm going to leave that one there. You're a AUD. Let's wait and see what happens at this area here. Will this hold or will this break? So this is the kind of area here we're kind of looking at, right? We want to know if this is gonna hold, and then obviously potentially melt back down. If we get some dollar strength, that's what will happen. Or are we going to break and then just continue to the upside? What else are we looking at? Euro CAD, not really interested in this. Euro NZD, not really interested in that either. Let's have a look at some other stuff here. CAD yen, not really because CAD's very, very weak. Euro yen, GBP yen, AUD yen, USD was still there. Yeah. GBP USD was one that I was monitoring. It was this entry here. But what I need to kind of, see here, and it will be on a 15-minute time frame. We've technically, we're coming in there. There's a reason why price is, stopping at this area. This is a 4 hour level here. There's a reason why price is, starting to, halt here. So we want to see, look how quickly price has driven down into this area. Now we've got this indecision, yeah, so we're coming at to collect some orders here, and then potentially should be moving up, but we need this to break and then one more retest. So that is definitely one that's on my watch list. Right now, we've also got the Asian. One thing I'd mark on AUD USD is this here, right? I would like, again, I want price to come break down, come back up, and then obviously retest one more time, and then off we go. That's what I'm looking for here. USD CAD, not really interested in. USD Swiss as well, not really interested in that either. So Euro's kind of messing us about here. We've obviously got a lot of support here, but there's also a lot of resistance here as well. And obviously, it's not as clean as what I was hoping. We had this nice break here, waited for a retest. I think the entry was about here. Yeah, it was about here. So yeah, let's wait and see how this one pans out. I'm going to leave that where it was because that's what we posted in the group. Does anyone have any questions or anything? Happy to go through it. But right now we've got GBP USD, which we are monitoring. We want this level here to hold. So we want this level here to hold, or break through like that and then continue. But obviously, if this doesn't hold and we just blast through, then we can ignore it. We then got Euro USD here, which we are currently in. Not looking too great, but you know what? We took a really, really nice trade on your USD this morning was this one here. So yeah, could have actually pushed that a lot further, but let's wait and see. Gold, I am monitoring. It'll be interesting to see what I'm looking for. Either direction, it's a big spike. All right, a big spike, either direction, and then we're going to trade the opposite. So that's one I'm looking at. USD JPY as well. One that, we're obviously in, but I would just be a bit wary of it because I don't like this price action here. This 4 hour here looks like it's holding. Euro AUD too. Let me just get rid of this. This is gone. Not interested. So we can take that off the cards right now. I think that was about it. GBP, yeah, nothing else really interests me. GBP CAD is quite an interesting one. We've driven out, broken through all of this. We've come back and retested, and obviously now we're dropping, but I think we've missed the entry. So yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off on everything else now. So USD gold monitoring, Euro USD and GBP USD too, but obviously we need to wait for this to um tell us really what it's what it's going to do. But all eyes on the dollar here. Will this carry on breaking and hit 100, or will we get a slight pullback and then it's going to draw everything else up? So let's wait and see. We got one question here, I think. Simon, do you think the news at 3 will have much effect to the pairs we are looking at? Yes, but it all depends. I think news like manufacturing news is pretty much priced in. It's not massive kind of shock. News. It's not gonna make anyone do anything crazy. Um, yeah, and obviously we've got later on. Remember daily speaking, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna make too much of a difference. Yeah, I think if dollar is gonna be strong today, it's gonna be strong. So we're just gonna have to keep on monitoring, and then hopefully we can capitalize on what's happening here. So we've got Euro USD as well, just not playing ball this afternoon. But you know what? These things happen. Like I said, took a nice trade here this afternoon, and then we took, sorry, this morning, and we did take Euro USD. Obviously, we got stopped out around break even, which was irritating because we come back, we tested it. It was a pretty much perfect entry area. Just obviously haven't had that push up yet. So let's just monitor for a minute. So right now we've got, let's just put this a bit closer. We've obviously got USD, Aussie, pound, and then we've got obviously at the bottom NZD, CAD, Swiss. I actually think if dollar keeps pumping, then Aussie might potentially be dropped quite a bit this morning. Let's just have a look at this as well. Yeah, just nothing. It isn't really clean. We might have to hold on a little bit longer. So there might be an entry probably just after 3, especially on gold. There's no gold trade for me at the moment. We're in a bit of no man's land here. So right, I'm going to hold this off here. Yeah, like always, if you've got any questions, you've obviously got you can message me directly. That's no problem at all. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on what we're going to be doing this afternoon. But yeah, let's hope for a bit of dollar weakness, and obviously then we can ride this wave up. But yeah, so have a great afternoon. I'll probably see you guys. I reckon it might be 7:30 tonight for the boot camp. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in there. So have a good one. Have a good one, guys.